Where to even begin with this game? Obviously, at this point, you would be well aware, as it has just been sweeping everywhere, that not only did it win Game of the Year, it's just kicking ass and taking names and taking all the rewards everywhere. And honestly, it's for a reason. I was actually very interested in playing Clair Obscur Expedition 33 way back last year. My husband actually, he, I guess, had seen it and bought it and was playing through it. And I had seen a clip of a funny scene between two characters, Minoko and Verso. You know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. It was a funny scene, and that was the first clip I ever saw of this game. And I was like, no, yeah, I'm interested in it. And I just never got around to playing it. I'm saying all this just to say I am not playing it just because it won Game of the Year. I had already had plenty of interest in this game before. But anyway, let's just start talking about Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So for this game, I need to be really careful about what I say because spoiling this game will absolutely ruin emotional impact and everything. So I'm just gonna give the barest explanation that I can of you start off as Gustav in the city of Lumiere, which it's this crazy torn up looking place in Paris that it doesn't really seem modern day, but there's definitely something weird going on as you look out and you see this giant woman with the number 34 currently above her. She is called the Paintress, and every year what happens is a thing called the gommage, where anybody who is that age, so it'll tick down, so obviously for this one it ticks down to 33. Everybody who is 33 gets gommaged, which basically means you're wiped off, you're gone. And it's called Expedition 33 because every year they send out people to try and go defeat the Paintress in order to stop this gommage from happening. That's all I am going to say on the story. And trust me, you will absolutely want to check this game out for yourself. But anyway, the game, it was made by a smaller studio, so I guess you could argue maybe some of the hair is a little weird or whatever, but really, it's a smaller studio. They're not a AAA. What they did, the game, the atmosphere and everything looks absolutely beautiful. The music, the soundtrack, oh my goodness. Don't even get me started. There's one song, and if you've played this game, you probably know what the song is I'm talking about. That immediately went onto my Spotify playlist, and oh my goodness, the entire soundtrack is just so amazing. The game looks gorgeous. The story, it is honestly one of the most unique and different things I have seen in a long time from books, video games, any media. I'm sure you could find stuff that's kind of similar, and I'm not saying I haven't read other stuff that's, super original, but this is just the one I can think of that has been such an original idea and concept, and I can't really easily think off the top of my head. I would have to sit here and think of anything that is super similar. Now, of course, it is an RPG in the sense of it's turn-based, and you have, interestingly enough, a 3-man party, or you can do 2 or 1. It's up to you, of course. But each character, instead of just having, the basics of oh, here's a fighter, or here's, maybe more of a paladin class, or whatever. How they play is they're not really classes, but each character is gonna play different. And now, to be fair, when I first started this game, there is a lot thrown at you, because you even have stuff such as what are called Pictos and Luminas, and then you have everybody fights different. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of tutorials, it's a lot to absorb, and if you're someone like me, it took me a minute to get a hold of. Senor Sylveon definitely had to help me a lot, and I'm willing to admit that it is okay. But once you like get it and understand it, it is very easy to pick up and make your build. And I mean, there's so many different builds you can do. You can look up online for, super recommended ones, or maybe even like beginner friendly, but there's so many different ways you can build your team. Because like I say, you can build the team of wanting to have 3 characters or 2 characters at all times. And there are even, because like as I got into the 3rd act of the game, there's, my husband showed me a kind of broken, not really broken, it's in game, and all of that, like there's no cheating or anything, but it ends up making it very easy to grind and get your character upgraded, as well as your weapons, and also upgrading the Pictos, because the most basic way to describe the Pictos is it's basically your buffs, and you can only attach 3 to each character. Once you upgrade the Pictos, then it can be learned, so then everybody can learn it. You can take that Pictos off and upgrade new ones. And you're going to want to do that because you want to use the Lumina points, which of course there's plenty of ways to grind them, and you're going to want to grind them. Because if you want to get these OP builds because there are some bosses that are very difficult and they have millions, maybe even a billion, like health. So you're going to want to be literally doing millions of damage. And obviously the only way to do that is to get stacking the Luminas. So just when you're first starting the game, any Pictos you get, just immediately equip it and get it upgrading. Like at all times, have 3 Pictos on all the party members to be using and upgrading. Now, this game does have a lot of, with the turn base, there is a parry and dodge system. I am saying this as someone who I suck at parrying. Like Dark Souls, not my game, I've never tried it, but I'm not good at parrying. Lies of P, it's the first game I'm actually really trying where there is a good amount of parrying, because, I don't know, specific timing with parrying in games is just not my thing. Now, you can just dodge, and dodging is easier, but I'm going to tell you right now, make yourself learn how to parry, because dodging in this game, even if you're on easy difficulty like I am, you're just making the game way harder for yourself, because you're ending up taking off, like you're losing out on so much free extra damage that you could be doing on the enemies if you parry correctly. Because yeah, with dodging, okay, you don't take the hit, but you literally, like, you're missing so much damage. And there are some bosses that if you don't parry, you're not going to be able to beat them. Now, to be fair, a lot of those bosses are extra bonus bosses that are notoriously extremely difficult, but like if you want to stand a chance at them, or even just some of the required bosses, which I mean, I recommend going after as many bosses as you can and everything, you're going to need to learn how to parry. Parrying is going to be your best friend, and it's not as bad as you think of learning how to parry, especially like I said, because if you do this game on easy mode, I would say it's not like other games where it's, made fully, like, stupidly easy. It's not like, if you're a person who isn't super great at video games like I am, it doesn't make it overly easy that you feel like you're just flying through the game. You have to work to the point where you're doing good on damage, and even then, there are so many optional bosses that even on easy, they are a challenge. You're gonna struggle with them. Like, even if, because I remember getting to the end of the game, and I was super over leveled, and like my Luminas, Senor Sylveon had them set up. The end bosses, they were so easy. And then all these other, like, extra bosses that are optional, they were still very difficult. There is one, and I will say the name, it invokes fear in the hearts of everybody, but Simon, yeah, no, I don't think I'm ever beating him. My husband has not even beat him. So, like, this is a boss who it's very difficult to beat him. And even on easy mode, that is still a good luck. He's still not easy, which is why he's an optional boss. But there is honestly, like I've said, this game is just so unique. There's just so much that, like, passion and everything you can tell they put into it. Because like I said, even though it's an RPG, the characters all play differently. There are so many things that, like, everything connects. And even as you're going through the game and you learn stuff or you learn outside facts about certain characters, there are so many hints and everything just ties back to it. And it's incredible, honestly, the amount of detail they put into making the characters and how things work in the game. Like, I can't even say some of the stuff I'm thinking because it's spoilers, and I want this to be a spoiler-free review because I am begging you, for the love of God, please go play this game if you haven't. I'm telling you, don't listen to the people who are like, oh, it's turn-based, that's dumb. It's like, no. For one, there is nothing wrong with turn-based, and two, if you've seen any of the controversy about people trying to complain AI slop, there is no AI in here. There was, like, to sum it up, there was some AI placeholders until they had put in assets, and I guess there was one newspaper that when the game came out, it was shown to be an AI, but they patched it out very quickly. If you see anybody trying to say this game is AI slop, they are wrong. They are stupid. I don't know why they're so mad that this game won. I don't get it, but trust me, this game is not that. It is absolutely worth your time, and this is a game I would say play it for yourself first. Don't watch anybody's streaming on it, anybody's like playthrough of it. It's fun to watch that later after you've gone through the game and you're in the know, but I definitely recommend, if you have the interest in this game, don't like look up videos, don't look up playthroughs, just go play it yourself first. Trust me, do it that way, because like I said, it's actually more fun than to watch like streamers or let's plays after you have already beat the game and you're in the know about everything. I will also say, be ready to be very emotionally damaged by this game. That's all I'm going to say on this game. It's been a while. There was a book that almost had me crying that I read a couple months ago, and it's been a long time since I've cried at a game or something. This game, I was sitting there trying to eat my dinner, and I was literally, like, bawling my eyes out. Like, Senor Silvio comes out, and I was yelling at him. I was like, why would you make me play this? Like, like, you're so mean for that, even though, obviously, he wasn't mean for that. He just knew this was a great game. But I was legitimately, like, real tears streaming down my face part in this game. So, you know, also what I'm saying is just prepare yourself for emotional damage. Don't look up anything. But anyway, that is going to be it for this video. If you like, go ahead and leave a like. I try to upload videos every Friday, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more like this. My Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all is linked down below, and I am getting back into streaming every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time. I was just talking about, you know, Souls-like game. Well, we're getting into Liza P, so, you know, I have beaten the first boss at the time of recording this, so, you know, that's always a good thing. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.